Yehovah Eloheinu Zvaot. Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. Please fill me and lead me and cover me with your Ruach HaKodesh, that I may speak your written words with boldness to those who listen. I ask all these things in Yeshua HaMashiach's name. Amen. We'll start with the Shema. Listen and obey. Children of Yehovah, pay careful attention and respond. Yehovah is our power and authority. Yehovah works in unity with himself, and you shall act upon your love to Yehovah with your power and authority, with your thoughts and mind, with your entire body, and with all the muchness that you have. Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey. Hand, behold, nail, behold. Shmuel, Aleph. 1 Samuel, chapter 1. There was a man from Ramayatim, Sophim, in the hills of Ephraim, whose name was Elkanah, the son of Yerokam, the son of Elihu, the son of Toku, the son of Zuph, from Ephrat. He had 2 wives, one named Hannah and the other Peninnah. Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children. This man went up from the city every year to worship and sacrifice to Yehovah Zvaot in Shiloh. The 2 sons of Eli, Hophni and Pinchas, were the Kohanim of Yehovah there. One day, when Elkanah was sacrificing, he gave a portion of the sacrifice to his wife Peninnah, and portions to each of her sons and daughters. But to Hannah he gave a double portion, because he loved Hannah, even though Yehovah had kept her from having children. Her rival taunted her and made her feel bad, because Yehovah had kept her from having children. He did the same every year, and each time she went up to the house of Yehovah, she taunted her so much that she would cry and not eat. Her husband Elkanah said to her, Hannah, why are you crying, and why aren't you eating? Why be so sad? Am I not better to you than 10 sons? So Hannah got up after they had finished eating and drinking in Shiloh. Eli the Kohen was sitting on his seat by the doorpost of the temple of Yehovah. In deep depression, she prayed to Yehovah and cried. Then she took a vow. She said, Yehovah Zvaot, if you will notice how humiliated your servant is, if you will remember me and not forget your servant, but will give your servant a male child, then I will give him to Yehovah for as long as he lives, and no razor will ever come on his head. She prayed for a long time before Yehovah, and as she did so, Eli was watching her mouth. Hannah was speaking in her heart. Her lips moved, but her voice could not be heard. So Eli thought she was drunk. Eli said to her, How long are you going to stay drunk? Stop drinking your wine. But Hannah answered, No, my lord. I am a very unhappy woman. I have not drunk either wine or strong liquor. Rather, I have been pouring out my soul before Yehovah. Don't think of your servant as a worthless woman, because I have been speaking from the depth of my distress and anger. Then Eli replied, Go in peace. May the God of Israel grant what you have asked of him. She replied, May your servant find favor in your sight. So the woman went on her way, and she ate, and her face was no longer sad. They got up early in the morning and worshipped before Yehovah, then returned and came to their house in Ramah. Elkanah had sexual relations with Hannah, his wife, and Yehovah remembered her. She conceived, and in due time she gave birth to a son, whom she named Shmuel, because I have asked Yehovah for him. The husband Elkanah went up with all his household to offer the yearly sacrifice to Yehovah and fulfill his vow. But Hannah did not go up, explaining to her husband, Not till the child has been weaned. Then I will bring him, so that he can appear before Yehovah and live there forever. Her husband Elkanah answered her, Do what seems good to you. Stay here until you have weaned him. Only may Yehovah bring about what he said. So the woman stayed behind and nursed the child until she weaned him. After After weaning him, she took him up with her, along with 3 young bulls, a bushel of flour, and a skin of wine, and brought him to the house of Yehovah in Shiloh. Even though he was just a child, after the bull had been slaughtered, the child was brought to Eli, and she said, "My Lord, as surely as you live, my Lord, I am the woman who stood here near you, praying to Yehovah. I prayed for this child, and Yehovah has granted the request I asked of him. Therefore, I too have loaned him to Yehovah as long as he lives. He is on loan to Yehovah." And he prostrated himself there before Yehovah. How can we learn to love our Creator after reading this awesome first chapter of Samuel? We can aim to create a family. Consistently offer your obedience to Yehovah Svaot. Love your wife deeply and show her. Trust that Yehovah is working in your life even when it doesn't seem like it. Encourage those around you. Trust that having children are better than anything else this world has to offer. In your deep depression, pour out your soul to Yehovah, making your requests known to him. Cry out to Yehovah, for he is the only one that can truly provide what it is you need. Pray to Yehovah, sharing with him your deepest desires. Humble yourself before Yehovah as his servant, being faithful and true. Take a vow to Yehovah Svaot when making a special request, giving him the terms of your side of the agreement. Trust that children given to the work of Yehovah is an honorable request to Yehovah. Pray before Yehovah for a long time. Know to speak from your heart means to move your lips, but your voice is not heard. Trust that when you are unhappy, pray this way to Yehovah, just as Hannah did. Do not drink wine or liquor, and pour out your soul as Hannah did. Speak to Yehovah from the depth of your distress and anger. Aim to find favor in the sight of Yehovah. Aim to worship Yehovah in this time as well. Ask Yehovah to remember you and your requests. Aim to name your children in a way that is pleasing from the perspective of Yehovah. Aim to loan at least one of your children to his service. How can we love others? As Yeshua loves us, we can encourage others to have children, creating a family that gives glory to Yehovah, maker of heaven and earth. How can we bear one another's burdens? We can marry and create a God-fearing family that loves God and loves others as Yeshua loves us. Produce spiritual fruit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, humility, self-control. We'll end with the Aaronic blessing using the name. Yehovah will kneel before you presenting gifts, and he will guard you with a hedge of protection. Yehovah will illuminate the wholeness of his being toward you, bringing order, and he will provide you with love, sustenance, and friendship. Yehovah will lift up the wholeness of his being and look upon you and will set in place all you need to be whole and complete.